Okay, so some of the channels that I started watching were Good morning, guys. Just out for a walk here with Pat and Charles. Kind of been sticking closer to home lately because the gas prices are crazy. Where I live right now, it's $2.08 per liter, which works out to about $7.87 a gallon. So yeah, it's expensive. So I'm going to be sticking around home, but luckily I live somewhere that has a lot of cool places to check out. So right now we're walking at Hiawatha Park. You actually might recognize this if you watch Chrome from Van Life. He actually came here on his way through my town. What?
On Amazing Race.
Oh, it was on Amazing Race as well. If you watch Amazing Race, they came through here. I'll link a video from Van Life in the description. So we're just out for a little walk, check out the scenery, enjoy the nice day, just have a little chat and a walk. Charles is excited to be out and walking. This place has this cute little lake sitting in the middle of it, but then towards the end of the walk, we'll show you why most people come here, and that's for the waterfall. So right in this spot, it used to be an old staircase. You can still see all the pillars going up to the side of the mountain. I can remember all the time as a kid having races with my friends and my siblings going up and down these stairs, but unfortunately they got taken out for safety reasons. So right here you can see the trail is a little bit muddy, but I'm surprised it's not more slick because we got so much rain yesterday. Here we are coming up on the dam. I was afraid that Charles's paws would get hooked up in these grates because they are quite large. So I actually told my husband to pick Charles up and carry him over just to be safe. I'm not sure if Chrome showed this part of the park on his video. Most people, when they come to this park, they go to the left, straight to the waterfalls. But if you want to see this dam and this waterfalls, you have to go to the right of the parking lot when you come into the park. I don't know if you guys can see that on the other side of the bank, that shiny thing. That is a big, fat, painted turtle. So sometimes in this area, not all the time, but sometimes, especially in a swampy area like this, there's a possibility of seeing either moose or bear. I do live on Northern Ontario. We are used to moose and bear. I don't carry around bear spray. I just try to make noise on the trail and be aware of my surroundings. So this is the beautiful Crystal Falls. It looks really good today. We just had a heavy rain yesterday, so the water is flowing really good. I remember coming here as a kid and swimming in these pools. You're not supposed to swim here, but we definitely did as kids, and we had a lot of fun. And I just think it's a really peaceful place to have a walk. So now we're going to head back to the van, and I let's chill on the deck and have a little bit of a chit chat. I'll see you guys back at home. Okay guys, I'm back home now. I'm in my backyard. See, we have our backyard set up for summertime. We got our pool up. We got our gazebo set up with our patio furniture. My husband's got his tiki bar set up. We're all ready for summer here in Northern Ontario. So before I hop in my cold pool, because it just got filled, so it's still pretty cold, I thought I would have a little chit chat. Since we do have some new subscribers here, I thought I would tell you more about myself. So hi, if you're new here, my name is Chantal. I am a 38-year-old mother from Northern Ontario, Canada, and I love to travel. I travel mainly in my 2019 Dodge Grand Caravan, which I convert into many different setups based on who's traveling with me, whether I'm by myself, whether I have my sons with me or my husband with me, or all four of us are in the van. But most of the time in the van, you're probably just going to see me and my travel buddy Charles earlier in the video. Right, Charles? He's on the hunt for flashes. So I'm going to give you a very quick synopsis of my life. So I met my husband when I was about 18, 19 years old. Then shortly after that, we had our first son, Corbin, in 2003. And then we had Austin in 2004. They're 12 months and 3 days apart, both Christmas babies. For the first few years of my life, I jumped around between a lot of jobs before finally ending up on getting my medical office administration degree. And I worked as a medical unit assistant at our local hospital on a high acuity medical unit. And I did that for about 7 or 8 years until we had some dynamics change in the family that required me to have a more flexible schedule so that I can be home more. And we decided that I would go down to a casual worker at the hospital and fill in the income with delivering. You saw in my previous video, I do Uber Eats, Skip the Dishes, Instacart, anything. Then we started to realize that I actually made more money delivering than I did working at the hospital, which was great. So I've completely left the hospital. Now I just do various things for money, but mainly delivering, some travel planning, YouTube, although that's not very much, but I do make a little bit of money on YouTube. If you want to contribute to my travels, just hit that super thanks down there. That would be great, but you guys don't have to. I don't rely on YouTube to make my money to fund my travels. I want to pay for my own travels. I make YouTube videos because I like to make YouTube videos. So how did I start traveling in my van? It all started about 2018, 2019. I've always traveled. I've always been a traveler. I've always been a road tripper. I've always filmed my travels, just never posted them to YouTube. But my sons and I were on a cross-country trip to the east coast of Canada to go visit my grandmother in Prince Edward Island. We were camping the entire way from Ontario to Prince Edward Island in a tent. I did have the van that I currently have now back then. And we were camping at a campground in Prince Edward Island called Seal Cove, which was directly on the beach. Now, being on the beach is beautiful, but the downside of being on the beach is when there's a windstorm, there are no barriers to protect you from that windstorm. So our tent was completely demolished, beyond repair, by that windstorm. And we ended up having to sleep in the van that night. Then, after doing that, I realized, sleeping in the van is actually very comfortable. I could do this. So we spent the remainder of the trip sleeping in our van. So after that trip, I started watching van life YouTube videos. I could say some of the people who inspired me. You saw the video before of how I was inspired by Chrome at Van City Van Life, just because he made me realize that I didn't need fancy things to start van life. I already had the van. That's all I needed. I just needed the van. I'm going to post all the channels that I'm going to say in the description below. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube. I'm not going to name every single person that I watch. So some of the channels that I started watching was obviously Chrome, like I said, at Van City Van Life. I tend to watch more people who are solo van travelers, and I don't watch very many people who have like big fancy Sprinter vans. It's not that like there's anything wrong with that, it's just I can't really relate too much to them because I like a more basic setup like my minivan, and most of the time I am a solo traveler. The one channel, van life channel, that I do watch was because I started watching them before they had a van, is Kara and Nate. I've watched them ever since their first video, and I love watching them because I love how real they keep things. They're not afraid to show the dirty as well as the good. So I love watching Kara and Nate. And Dan and Shell is another travel channel that I watch. But besides them, there's not too many couples out there that I watch. I prefer the solo traveler YouTube channels. So I watch Chantel from My Basic Journey, who also travels with her little dog in a Dodge Grand Caravan, which I love. And I watch some Canadian content creators, Foresty Forest. I like watching him and like watching all of his summits with him and Rocco. I watch Eric from Nomadic Fanatic, and I like to watch Camper Van Kevin. And those are mainly the people that I keep up with the most on my YouTube, on when I'm watching YouTube, and because they're the ones that I've been watching from the beginning. So they're just some of the people who inspired me to do this. Like I said, I've always filmed my travels, and having it on YouTube, it was nice because the other day I went through and rewatched all the videos from our cruise in December, and it's just like being back on the ship almost. Not really, but close. It's nice to be able to go back and watch all those memories. I like it. So what's my plans for this summer? I do have a few trips planned that you'll see. We finally get to go to one of my favorite places in the world that I spent my childhood going to, but because of the pandemic was unable to go to for since 2019. I haven't been there. So we are going to be spending a week at this particular campground, which I will show you guys. And I have some cool adventures coming up. I'm really getting into like ghost towns and places that are haunted. I've always been fascinated by that. And Michigan is probably one of the most haunted states there is. So there's so many places to explore that you can go to. So I have a few trips coming up exploring those places. So if you're interested in haunted places, ghost towns, make sure you subscribe because I have some of those coming up. And if you can, make sure you like, make sure you comment. I love talking with you guys. I respond to all my comments. And I will see you in the next adventure. I'm going to go clean my pool now. Bye, guys.